Today we're going to solve 3 of the easiest USACO problems, and yeah, subscribe for the video and there's more to come. Let's start with problem number 1, the cow signal. Given the side length and scale factor, scale your 2D array. So as you can see in the example, which I can enlarge here, this is good. You're given the side lengths of a 2D array, and you're also given the scale factor, which is 2 in this case. And if you look at our output is the original image, and then we scaled it to both horizontal and vertically by 2. Solution. So if you look closely at the example, you can actually see that each character in a line is multiplied by 2. So there's 2 x's, and then there's 2 x's again, and there's 2 x's again, and there's 2 dots, and then that line is then multiplied by 2 again. So we just did, and then we did it again. So as you see, I outlined it a bit here. There's 3 x's, which turns into 6 x's, and then it turns into 2 lines of 6 x's. So now let's look at the code. So let's first draw in our input, which is this. The final like empty list is going to be our answer. And then now let's look at the for loop that we made. So basically, it just first removes the /n in the line, since this is not input. And then we create an empty string that basically is our line for this each line in the original image. And then we add a k amount of characters, and k is a scale factor. And then we also add that line to the final answer a k amount of times. So we use for I in range k, and we append the line. And then we print out or output the final list with a /n join, so we can print out a sort of image like this. So now let's go on to problem number 2, milk pails. Given 2 milk pails and an infinite amount of milk, how close can you get to fully filling a third bigger milk pail by dumping one of the small pails? Every time you fill a small pail, it's fully filled. So you just keep dumping small pails into a bigger pail until it's as close as possible to the max. As you can see here, Farmer John fills the pail 17 3 times and dumps it in, and the pail of 75 once, to accumulating 76, which is the closest number you can get to 77. So in our solution, we will have a running count of the max possible milk in the third pail. X equal first number, y equal second number, m equal third number. So x is the first pail, y is the second pail, m is the third pail. So we're going to loop a m divided by x amount of times, and every time you will multiply x by I. And then you will have another while loop inside that for loop that continually adds the second pail that we did not yet use until it cannot, or it'll overflow. So basically brute forcing this. So now let's look at our code. We draw in our input, which is the same thing again, and then we find z, which is m divided by x. In this case, I used y for some reason. And then let's go to the for loop. So we actually include 0 because there's a chance that we just don't use one of the pails and you only use one pail. And then we multiply our current total by I times y, so that's what I said before, I times x. And then we create a while loop inside that continually adds milk until it couldn't. And then we check if our current total milk is greater than our previous most milk possible. That's closest to the third pail. And then we just output it. Let's move on to the third problem. Do you know your ABCs? There are 3 numbers, A, B, C, and A is greater than. A is less than B, which is less than C, or less than equal to actually. And you're given 7 numbers, A, B, C, A plus B, A plus C, B plus C, A plus B plus C, in a random order. So you don't know which goes first and which goes second. You figure out which of those 3 numbers are which 3 of those 7 numbers are A, B, and C. So an example here, we have 7 numbers here, and 2, 2, and 7. So our solution is to resort the 7 numbers, and it is guaranteed that A is the first number and B is the second number. And to find C, We cannot say that is the third number because a plus b can be less than c. As you can see here in our sample solution, 2 and 2 are a and b, and a plus b is actually less than c, which is 7. So yeah, and to find c, we just take the last number, a plus b is c, and since we know a and b, we can just subtract it from this number and get c. So yeah, in this case, we have a is equal to 2, b is equal to 2, c is equal to the biggest number, 11, minus 2 2's, so it'll be 7. And now let's look at our code. It's very simple. We have our numbers from input, and we sort it. Then we get to our logic, and we're basically just done. A is the first number, B is the second number, C is the last number, which is -1 index, minus the A and B, and we just print it out. So yeah, these are the 3 easiest problems. As you can see, we went through them very fast, as they're really simple. If you want to see more USACO problem walkthroughs, subscribe and like, and comment down below which problem you want. Other than that, that's pretty much it. So once again, subscribe, and see you in the next one.